protesters of all ages and walks of life fill the streets of the Big Apple.
New York City, one of dozens U.S. cities participating in the worldwide March Against Monsanto. People fill the street chanting against the corporation taking over the agriculture market throughout the world. They say it's time to put an end to what Monsanto has been up to.
A giant biotech corporation notorious for creating genetically engineered and genetically modified food. Criticized for turning a blind eye on potential health consequences from GMOs to consumers around the world.
How many people you poison today?
And using immense lobbying powers to resist food labeling legislation in the U.S. and pushing through bills protecting its own interests.
You've seen the police protect the crime bosses. That's why you see all these laws out there protecting the big companies like Monsanto, the Wall Street gang. It's all the same. It's just all about the profits. Nothing's going to change.
The Monsanto Protection Act, freeing the corporation from government oversight even when consumers take legal action, continues to be under heavy scrutiny.
Monsanto and the government are one. How could we all get together and change it? I don't know. What happens tonight when we go home? Got to pass some laws, right? The senators? People tell me that still works. I need to see it to believe it.
Standing up against the century-old biotech giant, these protesters' demands are simple. Most importantly, labeling modified food in the U.S.
Countries around the world are banning, legislating, and limiting the influx of GMO products into their consumer markets. The United States is not doing that.
They say this has to change so consumers can make an informed choice about what they eat and feed to their kids.
I'm really concerned that, I'm being poisoned. I'm a small little farmer as well, and I'd like to have all my crops be organic. And I'm very concerned that this is a big issue for people your age, more than my age, because you're going to have children, and your children are going to be genetically modified.
Demonstrators also demand further scientific research into health consequences of eating GMO products.
Any company who has created a chemical called Agent Orange and has affected our Vietnam veterans is now creating seeds for our food supply is a bad sign.
The corporate giant is heavily criticized for monopolizing agriculture throughout the world by harassing and suing farmers at home and abroad.
There's a few people making a lot of money, and we deserve to have better than that.
As well as pushing foreign governments to give Monsanto similar support and protection the company has in the U.S. Still, concerns are high that too few people are familiar with what's going on.
My hope is that this event will help raise awareness among people in the United States that their government is letting them down, completely letting them down. We have a Supreme Court justice who was a lawyer for the Monsanto Corporation. How much independence do we have really in our government?
With little hope that the government will stop ignoring the voices of the people, protesters are set to continue fighting Monsanto on their own, step by step, to try to impact change from the bottom up. Anastasia Churkina, RT, New York.